We are back at it again. At it again, people. This time we're going to be reacting to make a reaction of the eraser artist trend is destroying TikTok's art community. Right? Once again by Muhammad. Right? Always put the original video in the description below because, like always, it's a reaction video, so I'm going to be doing a lot of pausing. So if you don't like that, just go watch the original video. And if you like what I'm doing, hype it up. Hype it up because that's the newest thing on YouTube, which is crazy. There's always new stuff to do. But anyway, let's get it.
The TikTok art community has had its fair
Hype
share of
me up.
controversies throughout the years, from numerous accusations of artists tracing someone else's drawing and claiming it's theirs, to artists being called out for using AI to make art. There has always been an endless list of call-out posts leading from one situation to the next. But now a very specific type of artist has taken the spotlight and has become one that is now referred to as problematic and not even considered worthy enough to be referred to as artists by the rest of TikTok. Today we're talking about eraser artists. So it appears the TikTok art community has a problem with what seems to be an ongoing trend of eraser artists who have apparently taken over TikTok and are making art people refer to as cringe and problematic. Now before you shine those sparkling 32 food money.
I'm learning. Look, all of these reactions that I do is always authentic. So I don't like watch the video first and then give you a fake reaction. This is all new to me. I'm not on TikTok, even though you guys see, hey, speaking of TikTok, follow me on TikTok. Have really posted in a long time. Not gonna lie, I don't really go on TikTok. I just go on it to once in a while upload content, but I do not watch content on TikTok. So this is all new to me. Like a racer community, like what is next? We're already dealing with AI. Now we got a racer community. It's crazy.
Punches and start shaking your head uncontrollably, wondering what TikTok has done again, let's get the obvious itchy question out of the way. What is an eraser artist? Our TikTok's trend of eraser artists is a form of drawing and or painting where the so-called artist starts by making large blobs of shape that represent the face and or figure of the person, place or thing they happen to be casually drawing, and then gradually carve out the features of the face by using what people have alleged to be the eraser tool. Now, mostly whenever eraser artists show their drawing process, they usually imply that all their art is made by using regular and or custom brushes in Procreate, but this has ended up leading to multiple artists scrutinizing each of their drawings because something never seems to add up every time they post a drawing process video. From skipping steps and more or less forgetting to show certain parts of the painting to showing drawing techniques that apparently don't translate well every time other young artists try to replicate these same techniques in their own drawings. An artist who had tried following these tutorials left a comment saying these
I'm getting too old for this, man. I'm getting way too old. So, correct me if I'm wrong. So, you're telling me that artists who are learning how to draw on TikTok is getting mad, upset, infuriated that they're trying to replicate the step-by-step process of these eraser artists, right? That will start with a blob and then just work their way into completion. And they're complaining because they tried to copy their step by step and it did not work. Let me know what you guys think down below. I think I'm just too old to share my opinion. That to me, just get off the internet. That's my advice. Get off the internet. Just live your life. Get off the internet. All means. Like touch grass and draw outside. Draw outside. Anything but to go on TikTok because it's getting to the point where a lot of stuff on TikTok, and I'm being really ignorant because I don't watch content on TikTok. I see a few stuff on YouTube Shorts, but oh man, TikTok is starting to become really brain rot, extreme brain rot. So, yeah.
tutorials sent them back years because they were trying to be like them so hard because they thought the drawings were
They
actually
sent
real.
me
And this
back
was
for
made in response to
years.
a video an artist made where they were exposing how people used eraser art to deceive people into thinking they were actually drawing. Here's the video for more context.
What? Crazy. This sent them back for years. So what's going on is that they first start off by showing, hey, this is the completion, and now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna work backwards, right? I'm gonna work backwards to show you how I created this. Follow me. I will take you to the yellow brick road. This is called eraser art. This looks AI, by the way. Maybe it's not, but I'm just like, anyway. I don't know what's wrong with this camera not focusing.
Tastes like money.
Tastes like money. Tastes more like I'm skipping the ad. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, action. Let's go. This should be your speed paint. The lights, the shadows, the mid-tone. Now you're rendering and smoothing it out. Now you work on those eyes, you smooth it out, then you work on the lips, the nose. Whoa, how did it get from Yo, is this like AI step by step? I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. Thinking out loud.
We're really
How did it get like Damn, we're really living in a time where even speed paints can't be trusted no more. Exactly. Like, that is a crazy.
living in a time where even speed paints can't be trusted anymore. I actually thought those were real and had been drawn that way without AI. But then someone asked an interesting question about using this eraser art technique, but only as a way of studying instead of faking art. Wouldn't that work as valid practice to...
Hold up, I have a question. You have a question? I don't have an answer. Wouldn't that work as a valid practice to learn colors and rendering? Of course, not by using AI and not posting it as my work, but you know, like just practice. Nah, but on the real, not trying to make fun of the little crap. I'm trying not to curse. See, family oriented. I'm trying not to curse. Anyway, it's not the perfect representation or a good representation because it just starts off with the basic formation of the lights and shadows, and then the next split second, it goes right into it being completely sharp and rendered. So it's not a really good representation of showing a step-by-step process. So no, it's definitely not. In fact, it actually harms people because they're thinking, how come I'm still working on these lights and shadows, but it's not looking as crisp as the speed drawing, how it got from that step to the next step, and then it will just pull your hair out, right? It's like somebody who was taking PEDs and they're showing their workout routine, and you're like, whoa, I'm doing the same thing. I'm following this person for months doing the same workout routine, but I just can't look like this person because they're not natural. They're taking PEDs. That's why they look like that. And you will never look like that, no matter how many times you try. So it's the same thing with that analogy with this AI step-by-step process compared to someone who's actually trying to draw what they're seeing on TikTok.
to learn colors and rendering, of course not by using AI and not posting it as my work, but just for practicing. Well, in theory, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea. And if you casually think about it, It does seem like you could actually gain some knowledge by practicing this way, since basically what you're doing is just picking colors from the photo or drawing or painting that you're studying and then using that to redraw it in your own way. But this ultimately creates a huge problem, especially for beginners. It ruins your perception of understanding color theory.
Yeah, because you don't start off with a blob. You start off with, instead of going right into the rendering of it, you start off with the structure. You ghost out the structure with low opacity of the line work, and the sketch starts off with a sketch. And then once the structure is getting closer to refinement, then you start working on the rendering. And then you go back and forth with the lights and shadows, also trying to get the anatomy right. It's the same analogy as when people used to just draw the eyes straight away. It's like you didn't even draw the structure of the head. You just go right into the rendering of the eyes. Like, what? And then you go right into the rendering of the nose, then the lips, and then you draw the outline of the head. It's like, that's not really the rudimentary fundamentals of drawing a person step by step. You start off light and then work your way to dark. You start off with the structure, the sketch, not just right into the eyes or a blob and then go right into the eyes and the nose. Like, it's not the ideal way of the execution, in my opinion.
Theory and how colors work when you eventually want to start making your own drawings without picking colors from another steps the alleged eraser artists used to make their images, when in actuality these steps were mostly fake and pretense. I'm like 98% sure they're called that because they're just erasing already finished.
Exactly. And thank you for Naomi for pointing that out. It's literally backwards. They already have a finished piece in which they didn't show you how they got there, and then they just erase and just showing the backwards. Just no, doesn't work like that.
Pieces. You did it legitimately and it turned out really pretty though. Eraser artists aren't artists. They use AI art and a technique that makes it look like they're drawing it. It's because they have the photo of the said thing under a layer and erase it lightly to make it look like they're doing something. A lot of the other comments also noticed this and were pointing it out to the artists, but also commending them for actually taking in the time to draw for themselves. But a few comments were making fun of them, saying they didn't know how to draw faces regardless and we're better off learning how to draw using the planes of the face instead of trying to replicate the eraser artist technique. But one of the main reasons why the TikTok art community hates eraser artists is because aside from their art looking very convincing and insanely good, their art tutorials seem to gain a lot of views and attract a large number of young beginner artists all trying to learn how to improve their art. So
isn't that sad? You're attracting actual beginner artists when you're not even a beginner. You're not even an artist. How funny is that? It's the blind leading the blind. Like, legit blind leading the blind. Like, I can't draw, but I'm an amazing artist. And I'm going to show you guys how I made this. Why not just show how you prompted it? That's how you made it. AI made it. You prompted the AI to make this. But no, just like somebody who's on steroids and they say that they're natural and they're selling you a course to how to get big like them and shredded. Like, no, that's, talk about the real process, not the working out or the work in progress. Like artists, this is a work in progress. I'm showing you guys from beginning to the end. No. This is prompted. Tell the truth.
They try to copy these tutorials
Allegedly,
thinking they would make them better. People have noticed that these tutorials for the most part don't teach anything at all. And
this is not a way of executing a render. People don't execute it like this at all.
Don't even explain their process
Most people don't.
for the artists trying to use them to learn. An artist on TikTok posted a video showing when an eraser artist makes a tutorial and when a regular artist makes a tutorial. And the video is just so... An eraser artist is basically someone who is a fraud. They fake their speed paints and art process by manipulating the viewer's knowledge that painting is a mix of blocking and blending colors. The idea isn't wrong because that's how people paint, but what they do is take a picture that looks like a painting, then they go over the image by adding layers of solid colors on top of it.
If you guys really want to learn Because I'm still learning. It's always a never ending learning experience. Just shameless plug. I do drawings from beginning to the end, right? I do that all the time with traditional art because digital art takes way too long, so that's why I don't do that. But also go to different art YouTube channels, and a lot of times they go live, and you can ask them questions as they're making their work of art in progress. I think that's the best way of learning firsthand rather than getting manipulated by fake art.
Edited picture and then use the eraser tool to erase the solid at the sketching stage. While some people were still confused, wondering what an eraser artist was and were asking genuine questions about them, many other people in the comments all seemed to share similar sentiments toward eraser artists and were annoyed with how they made their tutorials. People also started name dropping a number of artists they suspected were making fake art and were accusing them of being eraser artists, but a name I kept on seeing over and over and over again in every single comment section of videos calling out eraser artists was an artist that goes by the name Yelenast or Lanast Yenast. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce their name.
It's all good, man. It's hard to pronounce your last name, man. We all got
just so that we're
different
all
names.
very much aware that I know a lot of us are very much aware that a lot of this is traced AI art. But what really confuses me is that this person has the skill despite tracing the AI art, which like you could see in the little details. Like I don't know, maybe she's just that good at faking it that you like I don't know. I don't know. Either I'm falling for it or not, but like just seeing it from the outside perspective and how that she does still do little details and that there is a process behind it.
And over 100 million.
Damn. Look at that. 2.2 million. Killing it on TikTok.
Likes across their videos has been posting.
And this is their work. It's hard to. Let's see.
Speed paints and art tutorials on their TikTok accounts for the longest time ever. Gaining.
There's something about looking at these, man. It just doesn't. I don't know, man. Something's fishy. Something's fishy. Like it looks too. I'm not saying artists cannot create this level of realism. It's just. I don't believe it, man. Nowadays, seeing is no longer believing.
Millions and millions of views on their videos and pulling in tons of comments seemingly praising Yelenas.
So this is the original eraser artist.
Apparently, it will seem Yelenas has been faking their drawing process the entire time and has been using AI generated images to make their so-called art.
This is so pathetic, man. It's so pathetic. Like, you have actual artists like me who's just struggling with the algorithm, struggling. But yet you got these posers. They're not real. They just prompt. And they're killing it with 2.2 million followers on TikTok. Do you understand? When you got that many followers on TikTok in general with social media, you are making it a full-time job. Like you are making bank. Not just bank, right? And it's just sad that it's not real. Like I give props to people who are legit and they work their butt off, not the ones who are pretending, and yet the algorithm pushes it, right? Because AI recognizes AI. So I guess that's what it is. I don't know.
Allegedly, according to TikTok.
She's really good at cheating. Huh.
If you look closely in the video, you can see Yelena's drawing and painting the nose in their image, but if we go up to the corner, we can see they're not.
It's just an eraser tool. So literally what the person is doing is they already have, it's literally just a backward process. That's what they're doing. So instead of artists started from a blank canvas and you got to work your way into refining it into a full digital or traditional drawing, what they do is just AI. They prompt it, set it up, and then they just toggle the layers, right, to create the illusion of the step-by-step process. Man, allegedly, right? Man, that is just, what do you guys think down below with that? Share your thoughts with this, because this is insane. And it's sad because with AI is only going to get crazier and crazier.
Using the brush tool. Instead, they're clearly using the eraser tool. So how are they drawing? It seems like they're erasing. Quite suspicious. The video goes on, and even while the art progresses, they are still using the eraser tool, but somehow the colors are changing and they are seemingly adding more color to the painting and even drawing more lines and adding extra detail. What could possibly be happening here? I think she's an eraser artist that puts the colors under it, but also I know she's actually faking it.
Let's not beat around the bush. These are eraser artists. It's not even artists, because artists have to coming up with the concept, executing the concept, completed the concept into their mind, into a vision. AI is just coming up with an idea, typing it in, and voila. And they're going backwards, making it seem like it's theirs through the step-by-step process. So you're not really an artist at that point. You're not. In fact, most people, if you want to show legitimacy, you show the whole thing from the beginning to the end, going live, or if you're not going live, you show the step-by-step process and you talk about the step-by-step process. Not just, here are the layers and I'm going to work backwards to show you how it looked before. No. It's beginning to the end, not end to the beginning.
The same time. Sometimes I can't even tell if her videos are AI or not. When she makes these kinds of videos, I am 100% sure that she is not drawing, and the drawings are AI or stolen from other artists. When she draws in the traditional way, on the other hand, it might be her drawing. I assume she can draw, but she still decides to pretend. Dang, she's good.
So let's see this. Okay, this person is drawing, right? This don't seem AI to me at all. This don't look like AI at all. This looks like an actual drawing. Now, if this is AI, then we're screwed. It's not AI. No. And I know what type of pencil this person's using. What are they saying? This is real. This is real.
Their initial starting sketch is good. They use guidelines like every other
Yep.
artist.
And that's how you're supposed to do it. You go with the guidelines that you create as a structure, and then you work with the lights and shadows. You don't just do a blob. I understand you use Procreate, but still, it's the same technique, same step-by-step procedure.
The shading, proportions, and everything else in the drawing all look very impressive. So far from what we can tell, this drawing looks real and there wasn't any use of AI or faking their process in this video. But when we compare this to any of their other digital art videos...
Count 1, guilty. Count 2, guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, guilty. Count 5, guilty. Count 6.
Oh man, the fingers of doom. Okay, so that's pretty sad that the person can clearly draw, but they're utilizing AI. It's like, why would you go to the dark side? For what? Like, don't you want to sleep well and wake up in the morning knowing that you have created something, you produce something authentic. It's like, you know how to design, you know how to draw, you know how to sketch, but yet you want to cut corners and lie to your fans. You're like, hey, I made this from scratch. It's crazy.
Guilty. Count 7. Guilty. Count 8. Guilty. Count 9.
What is this? Like, a lot of this stuff, you can even tell because the styles look even different. It's not consistent. Like, actual artists have a consistent style, and this is just not.
Guilty.
From comments accusing them of using.
Yeah, that's crazy. So let me just read the comments. Where is this? Right here. Let's read what some people have to say about this. Yalanes got exposed 2 years ago by Ren calling her an eraser artist and a scam artist for selling brushes, tricking people into thinking they could do the same. The video and Yalanes is a scam artist, and a year ago, Cat and Chat, now you, every year she gets exposed. Laughing emoji. I mean, she's laughing all the way to the bank. So only person that's really laughing is her, because she got away with it, and she's still getting away with it, because if people exposed her 2 years ago and last year and now and nothing has changed, she's the only person that's laughing. AI tracing and stealing from artists undermines creativity, disrespects human effort, and needs to come to an end for the sake of true art. Y'all need to know that. Well, yes, absolutely. I agree 1,000%. To be honest, in the animator community, we chillin'. Edit. Yo, I didn't think this comment would get so much traction. I, of course, don't speak for the animation community. Okay, I don't know what you mean. When we have some bad apples, I just think that we are frequent, but it's my personal blah, blah, blah. He was just trolling. He didn't know he would get a lot of traction with that comment. I'll read this last one. Every time I see a new video from you, I'm like, things never change in the art community, but I like hearing your opinions on these phenomenons. One last one. Me, who's traditional artist, I'm just here. Yeah. It's just a trend, you know, and like all trends, it comes to an end. And eventually people, the cream always rises to the top, right? So it don't matter if all this AI is happening. It's always discouraging. Even human beings who are not artists, if they realize whatever they got is AI, it's going to make them feel a certain way, right? But if something is handcrafted by an actual artist, it does something to you, right? It's a spiritual connection. You put your spirit, you put your heart and your spirit onto the canvas. And that's why people can feel it. You can feel the connection. But when it's AI, there's no feeling to it because it wasn't made by a human. Therefore, it's cold. So even if you're not an artist, there's a disconnect. No matter what, it's like, I don't feel it. And that's the reason why. So share your thoughts down below. Do you guys agree, disagree with me? Also, throw suggestions of videos you guys want me to react to. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hype the video. They got all this crazy stuff with YouTube. It is what it is. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.